Hey guys, and welcome to a showcase of a rather odd looking Lizardmen build from me, and that's because I'm going to be going through my top 5 underrated units in the Lizardmen roster, and I thought I'd showcase them all in one big fat battle, just up against the computer here. As you can see, they are all lovely lined up here, so don't worry too much about the actual battle up against those pesky manlins. We're here for the good stuff. So number 1 on my top 5 underrated Lizardmen units, it is indeed going to be the basic Stegodon. This bad boy definitely does not get enough love, especially for what he can bring to the table. Now, he's maybe not quite as powerful as his ancient brethren, but he does come with something a little bit special, and that is the gigantic crossbow you can see on his back here, which is scarily accurate. He's perfect for dealing with enemy artillery pieces. He has a huge health HP pool, so especially assisted by some healing, maybe from some apotheosis and the like, he can really go to town on the enemy. I actually quite like bringing double Stegodon and a skirmish build up against factions such as Skaven, can really pay the price. Now, not only are you getting an absolute wrecking ball with that giant crossbow, it has a huge health HP pool and is very decent in melee indeed. It does lack a little bit of leadership, coming in at 79, but if supported, you have a giant poison-causing, terror-causing, armor-piercing beast of a warrior. As you can see, the Empire trying to focus fire him down, but he's just too damn good. Now, number 2 on my list here of underrated Lizardmen units is indeed going to be a Lord option here, and I understand why he's underrated, but it is going to be the red-crested Stink Chief. Now, this bad boy's main problem is that the Lizardmen have a ton of good Lord choices. You have all the Slan, Mazdamundi, Krokgar, and the very sacred and scary Nakai the Wanderer, who's actually pretty terrible. But the Red Crested Skink Chief does certainly have a fantastic place. We can see him darting into combat now and giving some Empire State troops the business. Now, the Red Crested Skink Chief, look at him getting all grimy here. So we have some really cool attack animations actually. Has a variety of different mounts. You can bring him in multiple forms on the top of a Stegodon, up in the skies, or on horseback. So he's very versatile, incredibly cheap, and has some really useful abilities as well. He's wielding that mace like a maniac here, but he does come in with Warrior's Crest. It is a buff which gives him plus 40 melee attack and plus 24 melee defense, makes him a really deadly duelist, and if you pop him on top of a Stegodon and give him these buffs, he has a crazy damage output. He also has the standard Foe Seeker as well as Focus Instincts, which isn't the most useful abilities in the world, but for his price, he is certainly a fantastic choice. And as I said before, you can take him up in the air, on horseback, or mounter option I suppose, Stegodon, or on foot as well, being much cheaper than the majority of the Lizardmen options, and still a very sturdy combatant. The only reason we don't see him too often is simply due to the abundance of Lizardmen options. Now, coming in at number 3 on this list, we are going to be having a look here at the Ancient Salamander. Now, Sully has had a strange journey in the meta. Originally being incredibly overpowered, she did have her hitbox increased, health dropped, and range considerably dropped as well. As you can see, she is dropping the fire there on some halberdiers in the background, already racking up an impressive 127 kills this battle. Now, the Ancient Salamander is a little bit more niche than it once was, but can certainly do some decent work. Although it looks like it just, as I say that, just shoot a Saurus Warrior in the face. But as I said before, it can do massive damage. Now, it is a little bit more tricky to use now, as most handgunners and crossbow units can in fact outrange it. So you certainly have to approach from different avenues of attack and try to distract your opponent with different units. However, overall, it still does massive burst damage, can be very potent up against the Dwarves, Empire, High Elves, anything which is tightly compact, and still does a ton of damage, and Susan needs to get a little bit more love again. Now, number 4 on this list is actually rolling it dirty with Susan right now, and that is her small spiky doggos, the Razordon Hunting Pack. They've seen a little bit more love recently, but still certainly underrated and underused. They used to have a pretty poor firing arc, but considering that has now been improved, so their shots actually can go up and over a little bit more, these bad boys do crazy AP damage, can tear apart elite infantry, cavalry, knights, all of that good stuff, and as you can see, they're decimating some great swords at the moment. The Razor Hunter packs also have the advantage compared to most artillery pieces. I suppose it's more of an artillery monstrous pack. that they're relatively fast, coming in with a whopping 70 speed. These guys can dart around the battlefield, get into good positions, and even wrap up and around to the flanks of opponents for blitzing down the line of them, doing really good work. And at the same time, they're no slouches in combat either, rocking an impressive 90 armor, only 20 charge bonus, but again, 20 melee attack isn't too terrible on them, and they do have 46 weapon strength. They can certainly go toe-to-toe with normal units, which would shut down a back line. So number 4 is going to be the Lizardmen Hunting Pack. Now, number 5, to wrap up this list, is indeed going to be the mighty Dread Saurian. Now, I know a lot of people consider the Dread Saurian to be a meme, and I think in most matchups, he's probably not worth it, but he is certainly underrated. He's an absolute beast, and fantastic, funnily enough, at taking down units of cavalry. He has a really nice hitbox against them, so he manages to hit their models a lot easier than he can hit infantry units, and he tears them apart with deadly ferocity. Already whopping 137 kills here. His weapon strength definitely is not to be messed with, coming in at 750. His missiles do poison as well. With a little bit of support and love from a Slar Mage Priest, he can certainly go a long way and sometimes carry an entire game upon his back. So Dread Saurian, you know, is a little bit of a meme. He's rather large, so he's got a big hitbox, so opponents can shoot him and whittle him down rather quickly. But if used correctly and in certain matchups, for example up against Bretonia, he can be a ferocious beast who can carry the Lizardmen to glorious victory. As you can see here now as well, he's going to be feasting on some great swords. They won't be able to do too much to this glorious beast who does ride through the claws of the Empire here. And he has some pretty good chaff clearing abilities as well. So that's it, guys. That is my top 5 list of underrated Lizardmen units. Do you agree with my list? Do you think I got it horribly wrong? Did I miss out certain units? Or do you think units such as the Dread Saurian get enough love as they already do? Please do let me know. I'd also like to hear your thoughts on what the most underrated Lizardmen unit is. I know there's a few I left off the list, which I think could have possibly been getting in there, such as Ripidactyls and the like. But my list, for the most part, is relatively set at the moment with the basic Stegodon, Ancient Salamander, Razordons, Dread Saurian, and of course the red-crested Skink Chief. Hope you enjoyed this list, guys. If you did, feel free to subscribe for more Total War Warhammer content, and give the video a big old thumbs up and a comment to help push it out to more people, and let me know you like this type of content. Anyway, guys, until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.